Okay. So welcome to today's class. As part of before classes, we did all SQL related cloud operations like static DB and H2 database and MySQL database. And also we discussed about Spring Data and JPA. Now the time came to the discussing about the NoSQL database that is called MongoDB. So right. So we know our Spring Data is dealing with all kind of databases, whether it is a NoSQL, whether it is an SQL, it will deal with, right? So how can we integrate a NoSQL database into our Spring Boot application? And how can we install the MongoDB database in our system? And this is NoSQL structure. What type of queries we need to write? And what is the part we need to write queries on MongoDB? And how the repository will help us uh, to to do the all the transactions we will see now. So before starting our application, so we will see the installation of MongoDB. So then we will come into directly come into the session here. So let me share my screen. So you can see here the Spring Data, right? So in the Spring Data, we already discussed about this. So card repository and paging and storing repository is the top repositories under which they implemented Mongo repository, which is extended or implemented by these two repositories, and Mongo template. So whenever you're using a native queries and normal template, JDBC kind of things, we can use Mongo template. Or if you are using JDBC, Mongo repository, you can go for the repository. So now we are using a MongoDB. So this is called NoSQL. So we know if it is an SQL, right? It's a JPA entity table is there, and entity is there. The name of table we can give like this, right? So if it is a MongoDB, so there is a little terminology is different, but remaining all are same. So MongoDB. So here we can call it as a document. So document is nothing but record. Okay, records. Okay. So at the rate document. So and also we can call it as an user entity or user document, right? So here we are calling as an entity. Here we are calling as a document. And also instead of table, here is the table, right? Here is the table, right? So instead of table, we can in the same annotation we can define the a table called user. So here we can call it as a collection, right? So collection of documents, which means table of records. Okay, collection of records or table of records or collection of documents. Okay, document is nothing but a record and a collection is nothing but a table name. Okay, so table name we can table, so we can define our collection name like this. So here fine. So here, so this is the little terminology and ID. So at the rate ID, so how we are defining an ID here also we can define ID, but whatever the ID here defining, it is coming from the JPA, which means Java persistence ID. So whatever here we are defining an ID, it is coming from the Spring Data. So right, so we will see the import statement of this ID and this ID we will see. So here instead of column we can define as a field. Okay, field of our document. So what is the field of our document? Okay, so here we will define a column, right? So these are the optionals. Okay, if you want to give the specific name for your variable in your table or in your document, you can give, you can define. Otherwise you can ignore. Automatically it will take the default name what you are defining in your document or model, document or entity. Okay, so this is the basic differences. And coming to MongoDB installation. So download MongoDB using this below link. So you can go to this link and let me open this link. Okay, so it will open here. So you can download here. So you can download here. Current version is right. So you can select your platform, Windows or Mac, or so this is the MSC file, right? So MSC file is nothing but .exe file. So you can download, and once it is downloaded, right? So what is the steps to install? So coming to here, once it is downloaded, and Robo 3T. So how we are having, what is this Robo 3T? What is this Robo 3T? So how we are having a SQL developer, how we are having a Oracle for SQL developer, MySQL for Workbench. So it is a graphical user interface to connect our database. Instead of command prompt, we can open a graphical user interface, right? Tool. It is a user interface where you can connect the database, where you can write your queries, whether it is a Mongo SQL queries, whether it is a NoSQL queries, and you can see the table data like this in a browser, right? In a browser or window. So if you want to see that on a graphical user interface, you can download this Robo 3D for the MongoDB, right? So you can download here Robo 3D. So it will come. Give me 1 second. It will come. So after downloading, so you can see steps. Once installed above, the sentence frame is little bit mistakes. Okay, so once installed above two things, below location and go to below location, and run below 2.exe files. Okay, let me edit this file. So it is, yes, once installed above two softwares, and go to below locations and run below 2.exe files. Okay, 2.exe files. That's fine. Let me come to the changes. Okay, fine. So I committed the changes. And, okay, so once installed above two softwares, so these two softwares, and go to below locations and run below 2.exe files. Okay, so this is the location. So C programming files, MongoDB server, and it is a .exe file, right? Double click and it will automatically run. Okay, run and install. So same Robo 3D also it will download. See, if you see here, download Robo 3D and download Studio 3D. So no need to go for the Studio 3D. You can download directly here Robo 3D. Okay, it is a user interface, obvious user interface, graphical user interface for MongoDB. Okay, fine. So coming to here, so you need to run 2.exe files. What is the 2.exe files? And run mongod.exe to run MongoDB. And using mongo.exe, see here mongod, here the Mongo. So this is the command prompt. This is the server up. Okay, to run MongoDB is up. You can run this .exe file. To run, to open the command prompt to create your database and users, you can open this mongo.exe. Okay, just D is the difference here. So it is a starting file of MongoDB server. It is a command prompt for to create a users. Okay, we need to open these two files. So after that we can use like this. So let me open this. Let me go to this and let me run. Okay, so I'm running and I will show you. So see program files and after that I will share server, and so bin Mongo. Let me share. Okay, so now you can see here. So C drive programming files, MongoDB server 4.2 version and bin. So once you open the bin, you are able to see mongo.exe, mongo.exe. So first of all, I want to run this file and I'm running. So it is opening a command prompt. So let me share that command prompt also. So you can see here, the server is started. 127.0.0.1 is the host number, and 270.1.7 is the default port number of MongoDB. So the MongoDB is started and ready. Now you need to run. Now you need to run mongo.exe to create a database user as well as credentials for our database. Let me open. Right. So before opening, it's the same thing we can do in a Robo 3D also. But before that, I'm showing you. So here it is a command prompt is opening. Let me share that command prompt. So this is the command prompt. Okay. So here you can create your username, your database. How can we create? So here, if you come here, so use MongoDB POC 123, something like that you can give. So this is nothing but your database name. So here you can create a user. db.create user is the syntax where you can give username and password, and also you can define the role for this user. So there are two kinds of roles. One is user admin any database. So this is the high level user, super user, you can say super user. He can access any kind of database inside the MongoDB. So user admin any database. Okay, user admin any database. Okay, these are the database and admin. So or you can create another type of user, like you can create a user admin of particular database. Only you can open using this user only this database only. So instead of creating like this own user, you can create a user admin in any database, so that you can able to see other databases also here. Okay, so I'm using this. Okay, I'm using, and I'm creating here. So let me copy. First of all, let me copy this. Okay, let me copy and paste somewhere. So or otherwise I can use this one, no issue. So use MongoDB. Anyhow, this MongoDB we are not using here, right? So directly we can create a directly user after creating this one. So let me create a user for this, user for our application. So use, let me see the syntax. So use, so what is the database name should I give? So MongoDB group G, it is already group G is there. Let me give the group H. So it is a group H. So MongoDB group H, the new database was I'm trying to create. So I'm clicking that entry, enter. So switch it to DB MongoDB hyphen group H. So now our schema is ready. Our database is ready. Now I want to create a user for this. Now I want to create a user. Of course, it is already created up for the previous ones. It can show, even though we are not creating, it can show this database. Why? Because this is an admin database, right? So right, let me create. So I added this here. Just I'm clicking enter. I'm clicking enter. Successfully added user. Okay, successfully user added role as user admin any database. Now fine. So this is fine. So our database is ready and user is also ready. Fine. vir123 is the password and vir is the username. Now I am opening after creating after installing Robo3D, you will see the you will see the icon in desktop, and once it is opened, right, once it is opened, you're able to see it is a kind of window. You can it will appears like this. Let me show you. So it will appears like this. So this is the Robo3D. This is the Robo3D. Left side top corner, it is a Robo3D. It is a Robo3D, right? So here already existing connection, it will show like this. So if you cancel this, you can come here, file connect. So it will show. So file connect, again this window will come. So now there are a lot of databases are there. Here create, edit, remove, clone, right? So you can create new database. The name called, database name called, we already given, right? So uh, MongoDB, let me create the same MongoDB group H, right? So MongoDB underscore G ROUPH group H. So H is the capital, G is the capital. Then we are giving. So just I'm testing whether I'm able to connect or not. I'm testing. This is the localhost and this is the 2017, right? This is already running, right? So I'm testing. See, connected to the localhost and access the database is available. Fine. And also authentication. Why authentication? We already given that a database username and password, right? So let me give the database name. So let me try with the admin first, and so vir123, I given vir123. So vir123 vir, that's fine, no issue. So I'm testing. So it is authentication failed to admin database as a server. So admin database as server. So this is not our server, right? Database name. What is our database name? MongoDB. mongodb underscore group group h. Let me test. So it is able to connect. Okay. Now I'm saving the credentials. So it is added. Group H is added. Let me connect. So now the database is connected. So if we extend this, so how we are seeing whether it is a MySQL, whether it is a MySQL developer, or whether it is a Workbench or SQL developer, here we are able to see tables. Now here we are, if it is a MongoDB, here we are able to see collections. If I am expand this, collections are 0, which means there is no collection, right? Now our database is ready. So our MongoDB installation and user creation and database is ready from our side. Now we are going to stepping into our application. So let me share my application. Okay. So this is the application. So this is the properties. First of all, we can discuss about the properties. This is the port number of our application. That is fine. So here I am not writing any data setup class. So we can directly provide the keywords or properties of a database. You can directly provide here. Why? Because these are the Spring Data MongoDB host, right? So these are the Spring related keywords. So automatically Spring Boot will take and it will configure. It will connect. Okay, no need to write configuration file. If you want to write, you can write, no issue. So this is the local host and this is the port number and this is the database name. So these three are enough, right? There is no URL kind of things here. Okay. So this is why? Because we are using Spring Data and repository. That's fine. So this is, so coming to application class. So application class, before coming to the application class, once we want to go for this pom.xml. So if you see here pom.xml, you know, this web dependency we need. So previously we are using Spring Data JPA for SQL databases. Now we are using a specific NoSQL database. Why? Because NoSQL database, specific database, which means every NoSQL database is having its own starter. Why? Because there are different kind of different formats of storing data. Some databases, some NoSQL databases are storing in a document. Some NoSQL documents are storing in a JSON format, in some of the files, something like that. So MongoDB is the best suitable for the JSON documents. So that is the reason most of the organizations in the world, current market, are using MongoDB. Why? Because it is a most suitable NoSQL database to store JSON kind of documents. So that is the reason we choose this to our training. Fine. So this is what MongoDB starter. As you know, OpenAPI we are using for our RESTful documentation as well as user interface for testing our APIs. Okay. So this is what pom.xml. So coming to application. So here, you know, at the rate OpenAPI definition, one is the dependency and second one is the, here the main class OpenAPI definition is the one annotation where you can define your title of your project, version of your project, and description of your project. Okay. Description of your project and terms of service, whatever you have a project related information, contact information. Okay. Name is the Vikakala. This is my name, right? So like you can give the your product owner name and your product email and your product site. Okay, your product website. So like mine is the Vikakala youtube.com/Vikakala, like that. You can give like this. Okay. So coming to here. So previously we used enable JPA repositories for all kind of SQL databases. But now this term we are using a MongoDB. So that is the reason it is a simple. The word changed, instead of JPA, it is coming as a Mongo, right? Enable Mongo repositories. The rest of the things are same. So you need to give the Mongo repo package and components you need to give the common package of your application. Automatically it will load the rest of the layers or rest of the packages. Okay. So at that Spring Boot application. So now you can see instead of entities here, I written as a documents, right? So the little bit terminology. Employee document is there. So at the rate document, the collection name is employee collection, right? So you can give simple employee also, no issue. But we are completely changing SQL to NoSQL, right? So to the naming convention, to once I saw this collection, right? Okay, this is an employee collection. It means it is an employee table. So like that, you need to give the specific names to for the easiest remembering, right? So for easy catching, fine. At the rate ID. So I did not define any fields. At the rate fields here by default it will take like this, and at the rate ID. So this is what I said, right? So initially it is an ID from Java Persistence API. You can see here. Go to before project and open entities and open employee here. So this is an ID. This is an ID we are using from the java.persistence ID. So for all SQL databases. So this time you need to take care when you're defining an ID. If you have a JPA Spring Data JPA in your pom.xml of your project, automatically ID will import from the Java Persistence API. At that time, employee object will not store. Why? Because always it will see ID from the Spring Data annotation. So because of primary key only, the data will be saved into the database, right? So if you are giving a wrong primary key by importing from the Java Persistence ID, it will not work. So make sure while you are importing the things, make sure, and while you are adding the dependencies, make sure. So if you are not, no need to add any JPA kind of starter or dependency, you can remove whatever you required a dependency, that dependency only you need to add in our pom.xml. So that is very, very important, right? So if you are not using, you no need to use, otherwise imports will be confused. Okay, make sure you're writing whenever you're writing a program, clear way. So what you are using, why this import is, where the import is coming. Okay, that's all. So coming to services, remaining things are same, all are same. One is properties, and the second one is the properties. The first one is the MongoDB installation, and the third one is the document. Okay, document definition. Okay, document definition and ID. So that's all. So coming to employee service, remaining same picture. So this is an employee service where we are having a 4 kind of operations: all save employee, get all employees, update employee, and delete employee. If you coming here, and the repository also. So coming to repository are the same. It is instead of JPA repository, it extends to Mongo repository. Why? Because we are having a Mongo repository, right? So if you come here, it is a Mongo repository, right? So instead of JPA repository, it is a Mongo repository. So that is the reason we added as a Mongo repository. And same behavior. All repositories are same behavior. You need to give the entity or document here, and the data type of the primary key. Data type of the primary key of this entity. So what is this? This is a string. Employee ID as a string here. So that is the reason we given as a string as a data type of primary key, and as well as entity or document. It will expect. So fine. If it is a repository, your employee repository is your custom class, right? So your component, to make sure this is a repository of a Spring component, you need to add at the rate repository. Okay, the at the rate repository will take care of all kind of database exceptions. Okay, if you are not adding here, instead of repository, if you are adding at the rate component here, you can add at the rate component also. So it will work, but it will not catch any kind of database exceptions. So that is the reason only we should use at the rate repository instead of at the rate component. So in interview may ask interviewer, so why we are using at the rate repository? You can use at the rate component, right? Component also, it will register as a component, right? So repository also, it will register as a component, Spring component. But on top of that, you are giving some extra responsibilities through this annotation. Hey, whenever you are getting any kind of SQL, any kind of database kind of exceptions, you need to handle. You need to give the proper exception message. Component will not give. Okay, so that is the reason we are using at the rate repository here, whether it is an SQL, whether it is an NoSQL. Okay, fine. So coming to service IMPL, the same way service also. So here, instead of service, you can use at the rate component. But why we are using service here? So component is a simple Java class. It is a utility or helper kind of class. But service is, make sure you are writing a business logic here. Business logic where you are doing some data transformation. You are doing some business logic of your application or of your APIs. So that is the reason we are giving a at the rate service instead of component. Here also we can give at the rate component. No issue. It will work as it is without giving any errors. Okay, but make sure the naming convention and the rules and the recommendations we should follow. what are the recommendations Spring people provided. On top of service, we need to use service only based on instead of component. Wherever it is a component is required from the utility classes or helper classes, the previous class we used. If you see here, transform, employee helper is there. It is a component. Wherever it is required, we can auto-wide. So by defining this only, we can auto-wide. If you see here, sir, in service IMPL, we auto-wide, right? Employee helper, which means if it is a Spring component, then only we can auto-wide, then only we can use these methods in these helper methods. Otherwise, you need to create an object, right? So that is the reason we should use the components for helper or utility classes, and remaining wherever it is required. If it is a service, we need to use service. That is recommended by that is the guidelines or recommended way of defining our annotations with respect to our classes. Okay, fine. So here, okay, I'm closing this. Okay, now coming to here, employee repository, okay, of our MongoDB. So repository.save, it will automatically save, and update employee. We are using the same, right? So Spring Data will check whether it is an update or save employee. It will check whether the document or record is available. Primary key of this table or primary key of this table is available or collection is available. It will create a new, it will update this collection or this record. Or if it is not available, it will create a new record. Okay, new collection, new document or new record. So get all employees. We are getting find all is a method from the Mongo repository. So we are getting a result and we are passing here. So delete employee, by passing ID, it will delete. So it will automatically return a queries. So let me run our application in a debug mode. In a debug mode, we will check. We will check. So if you see here, so now this time collection should be created. Okay. Tomcat server is started in the port number 2024. And let me open. So our Mongo Robo 3D, sorry, Robo 3D. So I'm refreshing this. Okay, I'm refreshing. So collection should be created here. Why it is not giving? Maybe we are not changing group H in our application data property file. Let me check. So that is the reason it is not created. So here, yes, it is a group G, right? So let me create a group H here. Let me change. Now I'm stopping. So that is the reason it is not created, right? So otherwise it will create. So make sure whenever you are running your application, your properties and all, you should give the correct name of your database or schema name. So now you can see here. So it is 2024. Yeah. So we will see if it is not created. Maybe it will create while inserting before inserting the document. That is the reason it is not created, even though we are giving correct name. So let me check. Let me check from our from the application side. So here you can open 2024 is there, right? So employee control and all is there. So I'm opening this. So here we have a 4 operations, right? Create operation and update operation and get operation and delete operation, right? So this is the post operation. I'm opening this. So ID, employee ID, string, right? 123 ABC. I'm giving it is a string, right? So first name V Kakarla or Veer, last name Veer, and last name Kakarla. And I'm giving department Java, giving location India. So let me execute this. So successfully saved. The return type of this successfully saved. So let me open this Robo 3D. Just I'm refreshing this. Now the collection is coming here. You see here, employee collection. It is an employee collection, right? So let me open view documents. So it is a kind of, so here, if you see here, right side top, I'm doing mouse over, okay? So right side top, so this is the view results in a tree mode. So tree mode, okay? So this is the elements of or columns of our table or document. This is the values of our table or document, okay? So this is the tree model. Here we have a one more view is nothing but a table. So like that table mode also you can see the first name, last name, department, location, right? This is class is generated by the MongoDB for unique purpose. It is defined. So ID also we added, right? So that's fine. 1, 2, 3 ABC. And this is one more type is there. So view in a text mode, which means JSON document. So it is storing a JSON document, right? So ID is 120 ABC, and even though it is giving underscore, it will not, it will ignore when we are passing ID. Okay, that's fine. So and class for unique purpose, it is generating its own class. Okay, so like that we can store all our documents. And let me store one more document. Let me store one more document. So ABC 1, 2, 3 ABC, right? So let me give 1, 2, 3 only. So I'm changing. Okay, so I'm executing this. So successfully saved. So let me see. So remaining all are same. So one more document is added. So if you see, if you coming to controller, I did not open the controller, right? So you can see the controller, the same, nothing is changed. Okay, so save employee, API operation, and request mapping. So previously I am using a method type. If it is a post, I'm using a post mapping, right? So I want to use some of the our friends are maybe using request mapping, right? So I want to cover, this is from Spring 4 and Spring 3 onwards, and directly we can use post mapping from the Spring 5 onwards. So just I am using this here also. So here we can define value and method type post and produces application by JSON, right? So instead of this, right? So directly we can use like this. So instead of using this, post mapping, right? So we can use like this also, we can use, right? So I'm commenting out this. Fine. So like this we can use. So this is the get all employees, and this is the update employee, and this is the delete employee. So let me check get all employees. Okay, let me check get all employees. So this is the get method, and I'm using a get all employees, executing this. So we are getting the two documents. So one is the 1, 2, 3 ABC, and one is the 1, 2, 3. So fine. So let me update one thing. Let me update here. So remaining all are same. So it will work as expected. Okay. Only we need to take care about the configuration of MongoDB and the installation of MongoDB, right? That's all. So right. So if you see updated successfully, if you see here, so let me run the same query here. So I'm running, see updated, the document was updated. Okay, the record was updated. Let me delete the record. So 1, 2, 3, right? So let me copy this and go. I'm going to the delete API. Just I'm deleting. Okay, so I'm deleting this. So deleted employee successfully. So let me check here. So I'm running here. So the document was deleted. Okay, so like that we can do all kind of these 4 operations. So do you have any doubts?
No, we've.
Okay, so in that case I will provide this video and material in 30 minutes. We can meet tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow also we have a class. So tomorrow Friday for me, and Thursday night for you, right? So Friday night we will not have any class. Okay, we will have a on Monday CST time. So tomorrow we have a class. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.